The internet is in full meltdown mode, and guess who's at the center of it again? Justin Bieber. Rumors are exploding that he's about to drop the most revealing track yet, one that might just spill everything about his tangled past with Selena Gomez. But here's the twist. No one even knows if this song exists. They're calling it Paris, and for years, Jelena stans have been thirsting for this one unreleased track like it's the holy grail. Supposedly, Paris was created during Justin's 2013 Journals era, back when his on-again, off-again situationship with Selena had the internet in a chokehold. The theory? That it's a love letter sealed in a vault, one that's never seen daylight. And just when you think it's fan fiction, Paris shows up again. In 2020, eagle-eyed fans caught it listed on a whiteboard in Justin's documentary, Seasons. Still, no lyrics, no leaks, no confirmation, just smoke. So why is this song suddenly all over the timeline again? That's where the fan obsession comes in. For Jelena stans, Paris isn't just a city, it's a symbol. A living memory of that 2011 moment when Justin and Selena walked through Louis Vuitton hand in hand like the world belonged to them. Back then, they weren't just dating. They were a cultural event, a walking fairy tale. Every red carpet, every blurry paparazzi shot, every smirk was decoded like sacred text. And Paris was it. Their anniversary trip, candlelit dinners, shopping sprees, the kind of moments fan fiction dreams are made of. So now, with rumors flying that Justin's cooking up a musical comeback in 2025, new album, maybe a world tour, fans are asking, what if Paris finally drops? And more importantly, is it really about Selena? Let's rewind for a second. The reason everyone's connecting Paris to Selena is because their time there was peak Gelena. Think shopping at Louis Vuitton, radio interviews, paparazzi chaos, and matching smiles that had fans convinced they were endgame. It wasn't just a trip, it was a moment frozen in time. Proof of a love story fans never got closure from. But here's the gag. While stans are busy romanticizing a track that may not even exist, the real tea might be on Selena's side. Because Selena's 2025 collab album with fiancé Benny Blanco has been bringing heat. One track in particular, How Does It Feel to Be Forgotten, has fans fully spiraling. The lyrics? Brutal, sharp, and just vague enough to be interpreted as a musical clapback. So now there's this chaotic narrative where fans think Justin's writing about Selena, but really, Selena might be the one doing all the talking. And if that wasn't wild enough, the fan theories won't quit. They're dissecting every unreleased title, every blurry studio clip, every lyric. But again, what? If this is all just projection, see, Justin and Selena's relationship wasn't just a Hollywood fling. It was an 8-year roller coaster with more twists than a Netflix limited series. Between 2010 and 2018, every move they made sparked headlines. Every breakup spawned a new hit song. Fans say their entire discographies are just coded love letters to each other. And if that's true, then we're not just talking music. We're talking musical time capsules, tracks that document one of the most talked about love stories of the last decade. So let's zoom in on why Paris still lives rent-free in the Jelena timeline. November 2011, Justin and Selena are spotted in the city of love, mid-tour, mid-frenzy. They stayed at the Renaissance Paris Arc de Triomphe Hotel, had a romantic dinner at L'Avenue, and yes, the paparazzi were clocking their every move. That trip wasn't just a photo op, it was a relationship milestone. They were celebrating their 1-year anniversary. She just hosted the MTV EMAs, and he was deep into his Under the Mistletoe promo tour. And then, chaos. The infamous shopping trip at Louis Vuitton. The interviews, the wardrobe malfunction that had Justin's pants slipping, and his security. Team scrambling. It was messy, but fans lived for every second of it. That's what made it legendary. But back to Paris. Why hasn't it dropped yet? And does it even exist as a real track? When we dig into Justin's unreleased vault, Paris is whispered among stans like folklore, something half real, half imagined, a song born from memory and speculation, not Spotify credits. And yet, the fandom believes. Because it feels real. Because the emotions it represents were real. But let's flip the script. What if the real story is what's happening on Selena's side? Because while Justin's vault gathers dust, Selena's pen is on fire. Her 2025 album, I Said I Love You, first with Benny Blanco, isn't subtle. Tracks like How Does It Feel to Be Forgotten and You Said You Were Sorry hit like lyrical grenades. Lyrics like, You're so embarrassing, go cry where no one's watching. That's not shade, that's a spotlight. And fans are convinced it's aimed directly at Justin. Even if the artist won't say it, stans will. They'll write and rewrite the narrative until it matches the heartbreak they felt watching Jelena fall apart. So, let's lay out the receipts. Justin and Selena's history spans nearly a decade, with an entire catalog of tracks that fans dissect, like forensic analysts. From 2013's Nothing Like Us, which Scooter Braun confirmed was about their split, to Heartbreaker, Bad Day, Hold Tight, and Recovery, all released in the wake of their back-and-forth relationship drama. These weren't just songs, they were confessionals. Justin told us everything without ever naming names. But we knew. Everyone knew. All that matters? He said it was about a time when things were good with Selena. That was his queen era. But then came the Heartbreak Era. What do you mean? Mark my words. Love yourself and sorry. Each one hinting at love lost, mixed signals, and maybe regret. Even Friends in 2017 had fans speculating, is this a musical olive branch, a last-ditch message? And then came Ghost in 2021, a song about loss that had TikTok screaming, Selena! Justin denied it was about her, but the lyrics, the timing, the vibe, they said otherwise. It's almost poetic. A love story that won't die, not because they're still in it, but because we are. The fascination with Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez's relationship has never really died. It's just evolved. And nowhere is that more obvious than in the obsessive fan theories surrounding their music. With every new track drop or cryptic lyric, stans start connecting dots like it's a full-time job. That's especially true when you look at Justin's discography between 2013 and 2017, an emotional blueprint for his turbulent relationship with Selena. The era kicked off with Nothing Like Us, a song confirmed by Justin's manager Scooter Braun to be about their breakup. It's pure heartbreak energy. There's nothing like us, nothing like you and me, he sings, no smoke and mirrors, just raw, confessional vibes. From there, Justin gave us a cascade of emotionally loaded tracks. All That Matters was the Green Flag anthem, written when things were good. He literally said it was inspired by Selena, calling her his entire world. That's not subtext, that's a full-on declaration. But the pendulum swung fast. Heartbreaker, Bad Day, Hold Tight, and Recovery were all dropped in 2013, and every single one reflected the emotional fallout from their roller coaster situationship. These tracks showed a layered portrait of a young man torn between love and immaturity, apology and ego. And fans, they ate it up. By 2015, Justin's album Purpose deepened the mythology. Where Are You Now, featuring Skrillex and Diplo, became the anthem of lost love. But it was more than that. The music video literally included the phrase, "Where are you now, Selena?" written in flashing text. Coincidence? Please. That was a full-blown Easter egg. Mark My Words was another one. Confirmed by Justin himself, it expressed love, longing, and the kind of respect that lingers even after the breakup. Then came What Do You Mean?, which had everyone spiraling with its mixed message lyrics and subtle shout-out to Selena in the video. This wasn't just music, it was a breadcrumb trail. Love Yourself, co-written with Ed Sheeran, walked the fine line between honest reflection and petty shade. Justin admitted the song reminded him of Selena, even if it wasn't entirely about her. And Sorry? That was his musical olive branch. The timing lined up perfectly with his public attempts to reconnect with Selena, and fans knew exactly what he was trying to say. In 2017, Friends dropped, an upbeat track asking that eternal X question, can we still be friends? It came, out right before Justin and Selena were spotted together again, sparking rumors of yet another plot twist in their long-running saga. And finally, Ghost, from his 2021 album Justice, reignited the fan inferno. Though Justin claimed the song was about general loss, TikTok exploded with theories linking it to Selena's Ghost of You. Whether intentional or not, the emotional overlap was undeniable. Together, these songs form a timeline of one of pop. culture's most legendary love stories mapped out in melodies and metaphors. What's wild is how Justin's lyrical journey doesn't just reflect heartbreak, it reflects growth. As the years passed, the raw, confessional style of his earlier tracks matured into something more introspective. By the time he released Changes in 2020 and Justice in 2021, there was a noticeable shift. The themes weren't about chasing old flames anymore, they were about stability, devotion, and moving forward. These albums focused primarily on his life with Hailey Bieber, his wife and the mother of his child. And yet, despite this very clear pivot in Justin's creative energy, the public hasn't moved on. Fans still hunt for Selena references in every lyric, every beat, every breath. It's like the chapter was never closed, just paused. Even in 2025, with Justin preparing for a new era of music and a world tour, rumors continue to swirl. Will he finally release Paris? Will it contain hidden messages about Selena? Will the Jelena saga somehow rise again from the ashes of pop culture memory? It's the kind of speculation that only intensifies when there's silence. When artists don't clarify, stans create the meaning themselves, and sometimes that becomes the dominant narrative. Selena's musical evolution tells its own story, one of resilience, transformation, and slow-burning empowerment. Starting in 2013, she dropped tracks that practically screamed heartbreak, but in a way that felt personal and cinematic. One standout is Love Will Remember from her Stars Dance album, which famously opened with a real voicemail from Justin. "Hey babe, it's me. I just wanted to tell you I love you so much." That one voicemail turned the entire song into an undeniable timestamp of their relationship. Then came Nobody Does It Like You, a track packed with lines that fans interpreted as nods to Justin's public persona as the bad boy. Lyrics like "My rebel with a halo" weren't just poetic, they were pointed. In that same album, Come and Get It and Forget Forever carried the double-edged tone of hope and heartbreak, feeding both sides of the Jelena fandom. Fast forward to 2014, and The Heart Wants What It Wants took the internet by storm. It was Selena, at her most vulnerable, admitting, "There's a million reasons why I should give you up, but the heart wants what it wants." That track shook the culture. No speculation needed, everyone knew who she was talking about. Then, in 2015, her collab with Zedd, I Want You to Know, sent the rumor mill into overdrive again. The timing coincided with whispers of reconciliation, and the cosmic energy in the lyrics didn't help matters. Same Old Love from her Revival album went even deeper, painting a picture of a relationship stuck in a toxic loop. "You can't take back what you said. I've heard it all before." That was peak fed-up energy. And while Selena never name-dropped, just indirectly, the timing of her releases always kept fans guessing and connecting dots that may or may not have existed. What's fascinating is how these songs, when placed alongside Justin's, almost feel like a call-and-response battle of emotions across time. Selena's 2020 album Rare was more than just a musical project. It was a declaration of independence. Tracks like Lose You to Love Me felt like emotional closure in real time. "In 2 months, you replaced us like it was easy," she sang, a lyric that matched the timeline of Justin's marriage to Hailey almost perfectly. That one line alone had Cosmopolitan, BuzzFeed, and every major pop culture outlet buzzing with analysis. It wasn't subtle, it was surgical. The entire album marked a turning point in her story, from brokenhearted to boundary setter. Songs like Look at Her Now, Vulnerable, People You Know, and Cut You Off rounded out the narrative, each adding a different perspective, from glow-up anthem to grief, from healing to emotional distance. The message was loud and clear. She was done playing the supporting role in someone else's chaos. And yet, the Jelena storyline didn't fade. It just mutated. In 2025, Selena released her collab album with Benny Blanco titled I Said I Love You First, and if people thought she was finished addressing her past, they were wrong. Tracks like How Does It Feel to Be Forgotten are scathing, with lines like, "You're so embarrassing, go cry where no one's watching," and "What were you thinking, honey?" Fans are convinced these aren't just breakup bars. They're specific, pointed reminders to someone who thought they still had access. BuzzFeed even reported that fans think one track references Justin trying to reach out again in 2024, an alleged olive branch moment that didn't land. This new wave of Selena songs shows how she's flipped the dynamic. Once painted as the heartbroken girl, now she's the one closing the chapter with finality. Meanwhile, the fanbase continues to treat every lyric, every beat, every whisper as a potential piece of the Jelena puzzle. Platforms like TikTok and X, formerly Twitter, have become crime scenes for lyrical detectives, with users like Miriam Rosuki comparing Justin's ghost to Selena's Ghost of You, claiming there's a hidden back and forth embedded in their respective albums. The lines between art and life have blurred so much that even a subtle phrase or aesthetic shift is enough to spark a week-long internet investigation. What's most fascinating is how these interpretations reflect more than just curiosity. They show the public's inability to let go of a story that shaped an entire generation's understanding of modern love, heartbreak, and celebrity vulnerability. Even when Justin himself steps forward in interviews, like the one he did with British Vogue, stating that he's moved on from making personal references in his songs, the noise doesn't die down. His words are clear, but the fandom's imagination is louder. It's almost as if the more the artists try to move forward, the more the internet pulls them back into that shared past. The deeper we go, the clearer it becomes. The music may have moved on, but the culture hasn't. Analyzing Justin's discography about Selena isn't just about reliving tabloid drama. It's about tracking his evolution as an artist and a human being. Early on, the lyrics were blatant, emotional, desperate. Over time, they became more veiled, more measured, reflecting someone who had begun healing, but still carried echoes of the past. His growth is audible. In contrast, Selena's trajectory has taken a different but equally powerful route, from reactive to reflective, from heartbreak to high ground. Her fans view her recent music not as post-breakup laments, but as empowered responses, closure songs wrapped in boldness. And that's why their parallel musical paths still feel like they're in conversation, even if unintentionally. What started as a teenage love story became one of the most mythologized modern relationships in pop history, and the songs, on both sides, are the artifacts. What adds fuel to this narrative is how often fans conflate music with reality. They treat lyrics as literal proof, creating timelines and theories that sometimes stretch further than the truth itself. And in that emotional space, even the idea of a lost song like Paris becomes iconic. It doesn't need to exist, it just needs to represent something. Hope, nostalgia, the illusion of what if. That's what makes rumors like That Night in Paris stick so hard. It's not about whether the track is real, it's about what it could be. A time capsule from an era that fans aren't ready to let go of. And it's not just fans shaping this narrative. The media plays its part too. Every new song drop, interview quote, or accidental unfollow becomes headline material. Selena drops emotional track. Fans say it's about Justin. Justin spotted in the studio. Could he be referencing Selena again? These kinds of articles keep the cycle alive, even when both artists are actively working to move on. Meanwhile, in Selena's world, she's been reclaiming her story on multiple fronts, not just through music, but through documentaries, interviews, and public statements. Her 2022 documentary, My Mind and Me, was a turning point, where she publicly said, "My breakup with Justin was the best thing that ever happened to me." That line alone was enough to make the internet freeze for a moment, not because it was shocking, but because it was so resolute. She wasn't just closing a chapter, she was sealing it with intention. At the same time, Justin has been writing a completely new story. His marriage to Hailey Baldwin in 2018 marked a distinct pivot. Albums like Changes and Justice celebrate their relationship, their child, and their new life together. Gone are the confessions of emotional chaos. In their place are tracks about peace, commitment, and stability. And yet, for some fans, that shift just doesn't stick. They still hold on to the older songs. They still want that one last message from the Jelena era, even if it's not coming.